All right, sit down, tune in, turn on. We have reached the official start time. This is Don Kaufman. We're going to start here in just about 10 to 15 seconds. Yeah, just making sure everybody's tuned in. Please chat in. Let us know that you hear us all right. It's a sound check, people. So wake up if you're live here. By the way, everybody always asks that question. Is this live? It's live. How live is it? It's very live. It's here we are. It's January 31st. It's 11:05. Spoos are up some 30 handles. It's just drifting mildly higher right now. So fantastic, you guys hear me all right? In about 2 seconds, you're going to be able to see me on here as well. I know I should hide. But we'll go ahead and turn this on. So a few informalities as we get started here. So I've got screens all over the place, just making sure that we're good. Few informalities. Number one, as I said a moment ago, people always ask if the presentation is live. It's live. Number two, people always ask, can I ask questions? Yes, you can ask questions. In fact, I encourage it. I am reading the chat. I'm pointing over here because there's a monitor here. This is the one I'm broadcasting right now. I just realized I have platform up over here. You'll see me kind of interchangeably use this is Tastyworks. I'll use Thinkorswim, use a little bit of PowerPoint today as well. So the other thing that comes up all the time, I encourage you to ask questions throughout the course of the presentation. I do this live so that we can actually interact with one another. So if you are live, please chat in where you're joining us from. It's just my own curiosity. You know, it's not a necessity. I just like to know where everybody kind of is. So Ohio, it's cold. By the way, it's cold almost everywhere too. So some people mentioning where they're coming in from. I'm just drinking a little caffeine. It's okay. We're gonna be okay. So all right, couple of Floridians in here. A few from Mexico. I'm looking for Dana Point, 65 degrees. Okay. All right. It's good. So I am broadcasting today from there you go. Finland, Helsinki, Finland. I think you are the winner for the coldest temperatures possible. So winner. I'm actually broadcasting today from Paradise Valley. It's just outside Scottsdale, Arizona. By the way, right now people are probably aware of this. I don't live in Arizona anymore, so we still maintain a home here, but I live in the Virgin Islands. So I'm back in Arizona for just about 2 more weeks. There's a lot going on in Arizona right now, but Super Bowl is here. The golf events here, and an extra million people are in this city right now. It's insane at this point. So I can't wait to get out. Get me out of here. All right, so we're going to kick it off today. We're going to talk a little bit about Ultima and Ultima Alert. Again, my name is Don Kaufman, and you are watching a TheoTrade presentation. So Ultima Alert, high probability income generator. This is a TheoTrade presentation. Throw up a risk disclosure. We are not financial advisors nor a broker dealer. I always put that up there simply because, well, I spent 15 years in the brokerage world. I'll talk about my background here momentarily. Few housekeeping items. Look, I'm going to go through quite a bit in today's presentation. So sit back, relax, and be ready for, well, a lot. Some of you have possibly heard me discuss Ultima. We've been talking about Ultima now. We're going on literally 3 years that we've actually been discussing. It's just about 3 years we've been discussing Ultima and Ultima trades. Prior to me getting in there, as I said, a few housekeeping items. Look, this is a skill set. I'm going to go through a tremendous amount. Even if you've seen the Ultima presentation before, this is going to change quite dramatically. I've changed quite a bit in today's presentation. So shut the door, turn off Skype chat, whatever else is distracting you. I know you just can't stop on Facebook, right? Get rid of Facebook entirely. Phones on silent mode, kick out the kids, definitely kick out the grandkids. It's the best part about grandkids. You can hand them back. And look, you took the time to be here, focus on being here. As I said, I'm going to go through a tremendous amount in a very short period of time. All right, another kind of housekeeping item. This is our free gift to you for attending today. This is the auto expected move indicator. For those of you that are somewhat familiar with Theo Trade and some of the work that we have done, we're very quantitative. If you're not familiar with that terminology, quantitatives were, I'm a quant geek. And what that implies is, in terms of like the indicators we would use, auto expected move is probably the most critical of such indicators. We're providing you a free copy of that indicator. It's a $500 value. Stay with me right until the end of the webcast, and I'll actually give you a web address. You can go visit the web address. You can download the indicator. And the reason I mention this indicator is I talk about it just incessantly. This is, an Apple, but look, this is a screenshot. So I'm much more about like live trading. And one of the reasons, as I said a moment ago, that I host this during, live market, times. Like, look, what the expected move indicator can do for you, it handicaps price action in the marketplace based on, option pricing. So if you take a look, this is the QQQ. So I'll just mention right there, it's the NASDAQ. This is what the option market depicts the range of trade to be. Cracked outside the range, the following week inside the range, the next week, this is last week, broke outside the range. I mean, these are stellar moves to the upside. There are infinite variables involved in this, and just what you can actually use the expected move indicator before. Like you look at something like Tesla. Look at this thing, absolutely like erupting, if you will, to the upside. Nvidia, one of the most statistically insane moves that we've ever seen, right? Huge breach, and all of a sudden the pullback. Again, great indicator. It's yours. It's again, stay with me right to the end of the webcast. The reason we provide it to you is, again, we mention it incessantly, and think that everyone should have a copy to this particular indicator. So that's the auto expected move indicator. Next in the docket over here, this is why you're here. So we're going to talk about Ultima trades, okay? And we're going to talk about why this is a trading methodology, okay? An entire trading logic, if you will, that is absolutely ideal for the current market environment. We're going to talk about how it works, where and how you can actually find edge. That's something that that's seldom discussed in this business. Is, people show you a strategy, but where's the definitive mathematical edge? And I'm actually going to show you that here in just the next couple of minutes. You're going to learn to reap the benefits of high probability trades while learning little known secrets not to take large losses. Okay, find out what products are the most viable candidates and what products make a recipe for disaster. So you're here to learn a bit about Ultima trades. If you are brand new to this business, you have absolutely no experience, sit back, relax. I think you guys are going to get a tremendous amount out of this. Look, here's a little bit about me before we go too deep into the Ultima side of things. I watched order flow for 15 years. And in large part, that is what kind of brings me here today. I have a pretty unique skill set. So people always talk about, their background or how they got involved in trading. I think I have a very unique kind of differentiating background. I never got involved in trading. I was born into it. I've been around trading and traders my entire life. I had family that were market makers. Specifically, it was my uncle that started on the Chicago Board Options Exchange in the 1970s. He built a trading firm. If you're anywhere in the Chicago area and you're, older than 30 years old, you've heard of it. It's called O'Connor and Associates. He started with one seat in the 1970s. He actually built the firm to over 500 seats on exchanges worldwide. It was a multi-billion-dollar deal when the firm sold in the early 90s. By the way, $1 billion was still a lot in the 1990s. This was a multi-billion-dollar deal in 1992 when he actually sold O'Connor and Associates. He sold it to none other than the Swiss bank. So I grew up around the trading world. People always ask me, when did you first learn about options and stock and futures contracts? I have no idea. As I said, I grew up around it. It's like language at the dinner table, pretty much. I know that sounds kind of weird to some people, but we used to talk about trades that are in the money, out of the money, probably by the time I was 12 or 15. Okay. So I started trading in Chicago 3 weeks out of college. I met a couple of individuals on the floor at the Chicago Board Options Exchange. They invited me to a startup brokerage firm. So I left the SIBO, the Chicago Board Options Exchange. I left SIBO and I went to work for a company that was, no one knew the name of the company. It was called Thinkorswim. No one knew about it. It was in 2001. I went on to actually build the whole education division of Thinkorswim. I helped a lot in building, some of the technology on Thinkorswim. I was there for the better part of 15 years. I was on the executive team when we took the company public in 2007. I was there when TD Ameritrade purchased us in 2009, and I signed a 5-year lockup clause. So in 2015, after my lockup clause, I was contest and we built TheoTrade. And one of the things that we bring with us to TheoTrade is everything we learned inside of the brokerage world. You do realize that we here at TheoTrade, and I say we, TheoTrade is not just a one-trick pony. It's not just myself. There are 7 other full-time instructors. Many of us come from the Thinkorswim, TD Ameritrade, and market-making backgrounds. But the most interesting thing that we bring to the table, we got to see everything that you did for the better part of 15 years. We had access to the largest client flow in the entire industry. If you have no idea what flow means your trades. And we studied them. We studied them every way, shape, or form. If you tell me you traded iron condors, I knew if you were making money or losing money before you even said anything. We knew. Okay, I trade iron condors. Oh, great. There's a 52.3% chance of success, of trading this particular type of iron condor. It was that cut and dry. Listen, we studied trades. We know what works and what doesn't. And a lot of the information, though, that we were able to gather and to garner when we were at TD Ameritrade, when we were at Thinkorswim, literally we watched billions and others' mistakes. We could not use that in the education materials that we built because we were a registered rep. Okay, we were a registered rep. So all the information from internally at the brokerage firm, now we finally get to kind of unleash the beast. And we've been doing so since roughly 2016 is when we launched TheoTrade here. So what you're going to see today comes from literally watching billions and others' mistakes and the knowledge of what works best specifically for you, for retail traders. By the way, if you ever need to get a hold of me after today, I'm just Don Kaufman. It's support@theotrade.com. We use a common inbox. If you just put Don Kaufman in the heading, and again, I encourage people to email me. Just put Don Kaufman in the heading, the email will go directly to me. So, all right, that's a little bit about me. I do some appearances. This is TD Ameritrade TV. I still do weekly spots on TD Ameritrade TV. I'll take the spot once in a while on the occasional spot on CNBC. This is just one of the more favorable times because it was myself pitted against Kevin O'Leary, and I ripped them apart. Anyway, this is also, I enjoyed this one. This is IBD, Investors Business Daily. Okay, for those of you that don't know this, this was the cover. This was the cover of IBD, December 19th of 2022. And by the way, this relates a lot to today's presentation. So bear with me here. And the cover of IBD, it was, about profits in a sour market. That's the entire article. It was the end of 2022. The author had, the writer of this article right here, Kathleen, sought out individuals that had a good year last year. And my very unpopular quote in here, it's actually been the best year I've had since the financial crisis. That's about as unpopular as you could get late last year, but it is. And I'm actually going to show you exactly the trades that I embarked upon in last year that, that's why we took the cover of Investors Business Daily. So let's get down to business. Volatility has arrived. That's it. I'm standing up over here. So raise up, Mr. Desk. Okay. No more sitting. So sorry, I use one of these sit stand desks because I can't sit. Can't talk about trading sitting down. It's wrong. It's all wrong. You guys ready? Okay. Here's the part we start talking a little bit about trading. Again, this is also the part where you feel free to chime in anytime. As I said, I can't sit down, and markets today are pretty docile. It's a 30-point move, by the way, to the upside in the S&Ps means nothing before a Fed announcement. The expected move for the remainder of this week, I was just talking about an expected move. You want to know something? Get ready to rumble. Get ready to rumble this week. Forget about Fed. Could be Fed, could be Apple. You don't know the catalyst, but I want to start with something very, very interesting here. Okay. okay, to show you and display how much risk is on the table right now. All right, this is the expected move for the week, but I'm going to show you something even more interesting. This is Friday's expected move. It's still at 86 bucks. You're going to get an $86 move either higher or lower. So just round it. You're getting a $100 move higher or lower in the next basically 3 days of trade. So today it's far from over. As I said, kind of get ready to rumble, because this market is going to move. Volatility has arrived, and what we're seeing in the marketplace right now, it's not going to abate anytime soon. Inflation is still roughly running red hot. You might say it's coming down a little bit. I just want to throw one little caveat in there. We have yet to have an inflation print. The inflation prints have been sequentially coming down. We've yet to have an inflation print that's like, for instance, 0.1% above what was expected. Can you imagine if inflation was expected to be 6%, it came out at 6.2%? I mean, the marketplace, the last time the inflation came out a little light, the marketplace exploded 200 points higher. If we come out a little bit hot in inflation, it's over. Do not think for a second that volatility is abated. It's not going to abate anytime soon. Fed continues to push rates higher. They're contracting the balance sheet. They're going to pause the rates. It's not going to make a difference. It's still contracting balance sheet. They're going to come on pretty hostile. Strong dollar still continues to export inflation, even though the dollar is backed off considerably. It's still incredibly strong. Geopolitical risks continue to proliferate. Listen, all of this amounts to just game on. Don't think of those as negatives. Game on. Like, turn around and embrace the chaos. And I can't stress this crap enough, because, I had to listen to and stomach for years people like, look, you just go on to this Reddit board and these monkeys will make you money. And you're like, I've been in this business now long enough. And I don't want to sound like, this is old hat, but been in the business since 1998, but I grew up around it. All right. And I've seen everything. And I was there during the internet boom, where I actually traded. The first place I ever traded was Yahoo. Everybody familiar with Yahoo? So that's the first place I traded, was in Yahoo. And it was like, people are literally showing up, just buying stock, having no idea what a stock market even happened to be, but they just show up and buy stock. Why? Because it was the internet boom. Same thing happened in 2021. Well, in 2022, crap got real, right? Stock picking, Reddit boards ain't going to cut it. You have to have a strategy that's going to embrace volatility, embrace the chaos. And I call it chaos, volatility, chaos. What's the difference? You can't rely right now on directional bias. If you do, you're dead. Like, when I talk about directional bias, like, listen, I'm not going to pick on, the CNBCs and so forth. They have a job to do. CNBC, what's their job to do? To keep you entertained, to keep you tuned in, to keep advertising dollars flowing. So what do? They get on there and they go, what do you think about Apple? I don't know. What do you think about Apple? Oh, I'm bearish. Oh, I'm bullish. By the way, you do realize that everything they do on CNBC now, they have one bull and one bear, and they actually go head to head, and you're like, that makes sense. And then they go, oh, that makes sense too. It's, by the way, the producer, when you're on CNBC, is in your ear telling you, you're the bearish guy. Oh, okay. They literally also tell you what stocks you're allowed to talk about. So listen, directional bias doesn't play well in volatility, okay? But doesn't stop anybody from talking about it. When I say directional bias, will you think we're going higher or lower? The answer is yes. Okay. You've also got to learn to reduce risk. You got to learn to reduce risk while substantiating monthly returns. That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to talk about Ultima trades. So volatility, higher volatility has resulted in significantly more options premium. Options. I said the O word. Some of you have absolutely no experience in options. It's okay. All I want you to be able to do today is grasp big, broad strokes of logic. I'm not asking anybody to learn everything there is to know about options, okay? But I am telling you, okay, right now, unequivocally, higher volatility. When I talk about higher volatility, some of you might argue with that notion and say like, well, no, look at VIX. VIX is really, really low, okay? And it is. VIX is really low. VIX is the S&P 500 volatility index. How many of you, okay, just come in and say me. How many of you have heard of or used VIX, okay? The VIX, how many people here? Me. Anybody? Okay. How many people have heard of and used VIX? So if you've used VIX and you've been in this business for more than 5 years, you'll actually recognize, let's bring up the max history in VIX and just kind of maybe zoom in a little bit here. Here's where we presently are in VIX at 20 VIX. So my mouse is on it, and I just want you to see that you go, oh, volatility is really what, high? It is high. It's high relative to, from basically 2010, the volatility started dropping. It spiked back in 2011, but since 2012, VIX has, been under 20 almost the entire time. You've had a decade of it almost, down. All of a sudden, okay, that's COVID right there. COVID, we reemerge into an extreme volatility climate, and volatility is here. And as I said, it's not going to abate anytime soon. As long as you are, to me, categorically above like a 15 vol in VIX, you're rock there. And there's even crazier things going on with skew right now. So if it's only like 5 people answer, wake up, people. By the way, this is the interactive portion of the session. You can say stuff. So another question in here: how many of you tuning in have never had experience with options? Anybody here brand new, no experience? Okay, no experience whatsoever with options. It's a good starting place to again to interact. So Ultima trades, and what we're going to do here with Ultima trades, we're going to sell options. All right, we're going to sell options, and we're going to mitigate risk. And so Ultima trades are designed to sell options, but not any options. You have to sell the right options. That's exactly what I'm going to explain to you. Okay, learning to sell options. So a lot of people always hear this kind of through the grapevine. By the way, it's perfect. Like, Joe just came in and said, read about the basics, never traded. It's perfect. Okay, it's absolutely perfect. I only have one person that's actually come in here and said, I have no experience, I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. Okay, that is good. Okay, you're a clean slate, man. I don't have to, unlearn you anything, unlearn you something. You're going to learn a little bit about selling options today. And you're going to learn why it's so ideal. Whenever I talk about selling options, there's usually some wild reactions. One of the first reactions about selling options is like, yeah, I like this idea, because you've heard through the grapevine. If you've never sold options, you've still heard through the grapevine. Doesn't matter where you are, you've heard through the grapevine. Even like CNBC will talk about it, like selling options is a great way to make money. And then also, if you've actually experimented with selling options, you go, I was making money until I got hit by a freight train. You go, that sucks. Okay, but it happens. What happens to people when they sell options is this: they make a little money, 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 got hit by the freight train. Why? Because they don't know how to manage risk. What you'll learn about selling options is that selling options, anybody can do that. You can figure it out in 5 minutes. I'm serious about that. You can figure out selling options 5 minutes. What you can't figure out, though, is how to deal with the risk on the back end of it. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about. So selling options, easy. Keeping money, not so easy. Make sense? All right, we're going to get into some really high probability stuff, and you're going to find out just a few tweaks. You're a few tweaks away from being able to make some decent money. I'll talk about exactly my results. We just finished up like auditing some of the results from 2022. So I'll even share with you some of the portfolios. I'll share every single trade in the portfolio. Okay, you get to see everything. I'm very much, and one thing I want to bring to your attention, I'm very much, this is no holds barred. What I do here at Theo Trade, okay, people always, they go, well, you show us your positions, you show us, your account. Okay, you show us everything. I will show you everything. I'll show you every position I have on, good, bad, indifferent. I don't care. Okay, as long as I'm making money, at the end of the year, does it really matter? I mean, seriously, does it matter? Like sometimes sometimes you have a bad day in the market. Sometimes you do. Okay, you can do everything right in this business, you can still lose some money. But all that matters at the end of the year is that P&L is positive, and that's exactly what I want to get you guys to, is a positive P&L. Not every day actually works. Okay, but I'm going to tell you right now, as I said, we're completely open book here. I show you every single account, every single position I have on, P&L in the year, okay, all of it, okay, and we have stuff audited as well. There's no other educational firm out there that goes to this depth. There's no other educational firm that'll literally show you every single account, every single nuance, every trade in there, every hedging trade, okay. I try to be, again, completely no holds barred, and yeah, you get to see the full Monty. I hope you guys do appreciate that. As I said, during the course of this presentation, I'll even bring up, okay, this is actually a spreadsheet that we just audited, all right? So we've actually gone through every single trade, specifically in the spreadsheet. Okay, every opening, every closing trade, matched them all up. And you can see everything we've actually done in a number of portfolios. I will gladly bring that back up later and show you all the returns from 2022. So today's session is going to separate myth from real risk, fact from fiction, all about selling options premium. Don't panic. You can do this. And I always like to start with that. We're going to dive right in. One of the first things, okay, before I say, oh, it's going to be okay. One of the first things I need to tell you guys, okay, do not worry about your account size. I'm going to say it again. Okay, throughout the course of today's presentation, I'm always going to get one or two people that understand margin. Most people understand margin. And those people always fight me. They go, that's going to tie up ridiculous margin. Do not worry about your margin. I got you covered. Okay, what I do can be done with minute amount of margin. You can even do this. I know I put a $5,000 account in here. You can do this now, okay, with as little as, again, with as little as $2,000 in a funded brokerage account. So I want to reiterate that before we go any further into this. You can do this. You're like, okay, I can do this, but you can do it with nominal amounts of capital. Now, do I recommend $5,000? I do. Can you do it with $2,000? Unequivocally, you can. And I want to show you, we even have a portfolio set up. I'm actually going to click accounts. This is a brand new one. I haven't even started trading it. It's going to be it's literally a blank account with $5,000 in it, but there's another portfolio I have set up over here. Okay. This is a portfolio. Okay. Close this up, close this up. I'm tying up negligible, just negligible amounts of capital. Okay. In what is called a micro product, just negligible amount. By the way, the $10,000 is margin from a much bigger trade. Nevertheless, negligible amounts of margin will be tied up in here, as little as $2,000. So those of you that are brand new to options, I will reiterate, for starters, look to grasp big concepts. We're going to dive right in. There's a lot of facets of selling premium. People have heard selling options. Selling options, though, can be called a lot of things. Options, they have all these crazy names. Like, what are some of the names of trades that you guys have done? Serious. Okay, what are the trades? Anybody here that's traded options knows that there's a million different names for option trades. What have you actually traded before? People will say, I have done bull call spreads. I've done bear call spreads. I've done bull put spread, bear put spreads. I've done iron condors. I've done mambo combos. I've done conversions. I've done reversals. I've done boxes. I've done jelly rolls. Okay, I could go all day. The mambo combo. You don't know that one, do you? Christmas tree spreads. Right? You stand down on a trading floor, you get pretty freaking bored after 6.5 hours of standing next to the exact same monkey for umpteen like years. So you start coming up with some stupid names out there. Oh, back ratios. I like it. Okay, straddles, strangles, it's good stuff. Anyway, in the end, credit spreads is selling premium. Selling naked is selling premium. Short call spread, short put spread, delta neutral can even be construed as selling premium. But you can create bullish trades, you can create bearish trades, but for today, I can get that out. For today's session, we're predominantly going to be market neutral, meaning that I'm not going to pick a lot of direction today. I want to be very, very clear about that, right? What our members are saying year to date. I threw this up here from September, okay? Because I wanted to actually bring it up. Started my IRA in June following Theo's small methods, up 28%, up 27%. Up for the year in accounts I'm trading, okay? Took 401k to cash 18 months ago. This was back in September. I just wanted to give you a little bit of a litmus test, okay? This one comes from James in November, predominantly following Ultima, which is exactly what we're going to talk about, okay? Great teacher, Theo instructors, yada, yada. The account is up 30%, okay? And that was November 9th. And again, I like to provide that stuff. All right, probability and profitability. Your trading is based on probability. You and I, we can create trades all day long, 90% probability. People constantly email us and they say, how often do you guys write? I can say, well over 90% of the time. Probability does not necessarily translate to profitability. Okay, I'm going to say that again. Probability does not necessarily translate, okay, to profitability. So remember that. So when somebody says, follow me, baby, I'm right 90% of the time, you go stick a fork in them because they're done right there, because it doesn't make a difference. because markets are always trade-offs. Higher probability could be higher risk. You could be right 90% of the time, you can still lose money. What we need to talk about, okay, isn't just the probability of being right. I'm going to show you trades in a second. You can be right 90% of the time. You got to find edge, because that's what people are here for. You got to find edge. All right. And that's what I'm going to show you. So I'm going to start with the stock at 100. Now, I always use this as a marquee example. And I use the same example because I'll have people that'll come back to this presentation 4 or 5 times. Seriously, same presentation 4 or 5 times. Like, holy crap, it finally clicked. And I want it to click, right? Because there's, as I said, I don't want there to be any misconceptions. So this one I kind of standardize, and then I'm actually going to go into the live market, and I'm going to find a few real examples. When I say real examples, well, why do I call them examples? We're going to trade. Let's trade. Anyway, here's a $100 stock. And by the way, I don't care what stock it is. I call every fictitious stock stock. Okay, stock. And stock is trading at 100. Now, do I own stock? The answer is no. Do I want to own stock? No. Why do I not want to own stock? Because stock scares me to death right now. This is not 2021, okay, where a kid living in his mom's basement is on a Reddit board running the world, okay? He's getting back to hedge fund managers. This is not 2022 either, okay? So we're through that. Now we're into a whole nother realm of volatility. When that stock, which has just rallied big, breaks apart, it's gonna hurt, people. Stock scares me. Does stock scare you? It should. It should, unless you really, really want to own it right now. Okay. I love when people go, it doesn't scare me anymore. It was already down 70% last year. I go, yeah, that's kind of scary unto itself. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to talk about a call option. Okay. Now you can, trade options any way you want, but in the end, we were talking about a moment ago, we were talking about an iron condor and a mambo combo and then all these strategies and stuff. And there's a credit spread and a bull call spread and a bear call spread. Whoa. Time out. Time out right before the kick. Look, in the end, in this business, it's not that bad. I'm going to tell you right now, in options, it's not bad, because what do you have in options? You have calls and you have puts. That's it. What can you do with calls and puts? Well, you can buy them or you can sell them. That's it. And I still remember to this day, when I got involved in this business, I learned the business very differently. I grew up around it. I knew what a call or a put is. I knew you could buy it. I knew you could sell it. But I never heard of an iron condor. Okay, not until I'm literally like standing on a trading floor and they go 4-way. They don't call them iron condors, they call them 4-ways. They go 4-way, and I'm like, that's a call and a put. But everything you do in the end, it's a call or a put. So why do you got to make it so difficult? Like, forget about all the strategies, all the names. Forget about it. Ultima, okay, isn't about like this perfect strategy. Ultima is the logic. It's the right options to trade. Okay. So again, all I'm going to do in this one, I'm not even going to talk about puts right now. I'm just going to go out and I want to give you an example. Okay. You're going to buy a 120 call. Okay. And you're going to pay exactly $1 for it. Now that call is going to be good for a period of 3 months. 3 months. Buy a 120 call. Now, for those of you that have absolutely unequivocally no options experience whatsoever, what's a 120 call? Let's get down to it. First of all, do I own the stock? No. Do I want to own the stock? No. Bad animal. No stock. I'm buying a 120 call. Why am I buying a 120 call? Maybe I think the stock is going to go up. Okay. Maybe I think it's going to go up. So if I buy the 120 call and the stock goes up, can I make money? I could, but the stock has a whole lot of room for me to be wrong, because the stock can go, and it can get right here to 117. At 117, have I made money? No. What's its 120 call give me the right to do? So when you're trading options, you have rights, okay? Predominantly from the buy side. By the way, this means buy. Palms to me means buy. Palms to you means sell. So if I'm on the buy side of options, I have rights. If I'm on the sell side of options, I have obligations. Right? Obligation. Okay. So wedding ring on my finger, obligation. Anyway, so apparently I'm a seller through and through. Buy the 120 call. Buying 120 call gives me the right, not the obligation to buy the stock at 120. Do I have to buy the stock at 120? No, I don't have to buy the stock at 120, but I have the right to buy the stock at 120. Why would I ever want the right to buy the stock at 120? This could be Tesla. Tesla went all the way down to $100 and then it shot through the roof. So if you bought a 120 call, you're gold, Jerry, gold, because a 120 call could be worth a lot. Does that make sense? So this is the purchase of a call, but it's on a little bit of a wing and a prayer. What's going to happen to that call most of the time? Look, if the stock stays flat, you're going to lose $1. If the stock goes down, you're going to lose $1. If the stock even goes up to 117, you're still going to lose $1. How can you make money in this particular position? How can you make money in the position? If the stock soars, for instance, to 130, if the stock goes to 130, you have the right to buy the stock at 120. Everybody else in the world has to pay 130. Your option, that 120 call, is going to be worth at least, okay, $10. You go, but you paid $1 for it. Okay, so you make $9. But I want you to see, if you have the right to buy the stock at 120 and everybody else in the world has to pay 130, that's going to be what we call intrinsically, or real value is going to be worth $10. Does that make sense to everybody? Making sure. Okay, it's going to be worth $10. Forget about what you paid for it. I know you paid $1 for it, so profitability in there is 9, but neither here nor there. I want you to understand what something's actually worth. Now, blank the screen. Now let's really get to work. That's on the buy side of options. Let's talk about the sell side of options. We okay? Everybody okay? Okay to go? Okay to go. Huh? No? All right. It's pretty quiet over here. I will not continue unless I know that somebody is okay. All right. We're going to do, okay, a very similar position to what I just talked about. And we're going to go out 3 months. Okay. I do that because I want to torture you. Okay. We're going to go out 3 months. We're going to go all the way out here. Okay. And now we're going to sell, all right, a 120 call. For that, we're going to collect $1. This is now called a credit. So let's take it down here. Let's write it up here. Sell a 120 call. You sell a 120 call and you're going to collect $1 credit. Okay. That's it. That's all I'm going to do. So on the onset, you go, whoa, 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 time out. How do you sell something you never owned? Because I'm selling myself into an obligation. When you're trading an option contract, someone's always on the buy side. Okay. I'm all blurry. There we go. No, it didn't fix it. Okay. That is awesome. Okay. It is the ghost of Don's winter past. Anyway, it's back. When you sell an option, okay, you're selling yourself into an obligation. Remember, buyers have rights, sellers have obligations. If I sell a 120 call, I'm obligating myself to give somebody stock at 120. Do I own stock? I do not. This is actually what we term selling naked. Now, immediately people go, whoa, 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 I ain't here to sell naked. You're right. You're not here to learn to sell naked. Anybody can sell naked, but we need to get the explanation, okay, through this. Okay, we need to get the explanation. By the way, somebody just came in and said, what about margin requirements? Did I not mention that a moment ago? Okay, the margin effectively is next to nothing. Okay, what you think of margin, there's ways to circumnavigate that, no problem. But I want you to understand the 120 call that I'm selling, it could have a lot of risk. This is actually what we term selling naked. Forget about the fact that we're selling naked. Selling naked implies a lot of risk. Okay, I need you to understand logically why I'm doing what I'm doing. Why am I actually selling a 120 call? I'll tell you exactly why I'm selling a 120 call, because I want to collect $1. You go, wait a second. I'm going to sell something for $1. Then I'm going to wait 3 months, 3 freaking months to collect my $1. You got to be out of your mind. I'm not waiting 3 months to collect $1. That is the response that I'm trying to, solicit from you. I want you to be like, oh, come on. Because what you have to understand about this business is this: 3 months out, it's a lot of time. 90 days. We're going to get to that here in a moment. But I also want you to understand, look how far the stock has to travel. You realize that's a 20% move for you to do what? To lose money. A 20% move, you're like, Tesla can do it. I didn't tell you to trade Tesla, did I? You got to learn what products are good and what products are a recipe for disaster. It's one of the things I started with. So I sell this, okay? What's going to happen to you most of the time? When you sell a way out of the money call, what's going to happen to it most of the time? Okay. If the stock stays flat, keep your dollar. If the stock goes anywhere down, keep your dollar. Even if the stock goes up considerably, if it all gets all the way to 118, I'll wet myself, but I'm still going to keep a dollar. And if the stock gets to 120, I still keep a dollar. The only way you're going to lose money if it gets to 120 plus the dollar you collected. So if it gets above 121, you'll start losing money on here. But from a probability point of view, so just again, think about this from a probability point of view. What do you think the probability in that trade is? What do you think the probability of keeping the dollar is? Okay. This is a 90% plus probability in that trade. Anybody could have figured that out, right? Anybody could figure that out. And again, this is where everybody goes, what about the margin? You don't have to worry about margin. I'll take care of that. We'll be good till that point. So if we're good to that point, we move to the next slide. Why'd I go out so far in time? You've noticed in my example, I sold options a few months out, okay? Typically, when people sell options, they sell shorter dated options. They sell shorter dated stuff because it's what criteria and what TheoTrade is really about. TheoTrade is not about learning to sell an option. You can Google what selling an option is. TheoTrade is, how do I keep you in the lowest amount of risk, producing the highest profitability without catastrophic possibilities? Okay. When people think about selling options, they look at a decay graph. Has anybody ever seen one of these before, a decay graph? Okay. And everybody gets you convinced that if you sell options with shorter dated time, it goes, oh, look at the decay on that sucker. Okay. So is that true? And the answer is, yeah, options with shorter periods of time do decay more rapidly. But the options that decay more rapidly are what we term near money options. What that basically says, okay, is if you had a stock trading at 100 and you had a 110 call, the 110 call might follow this decay path. We're not trading a 110 call. We're trading the nosebleed seats. we're so far out that the decay graph, this decay graph is worth absolutely nothing. What if we could get phenomenal rates of decay without having to take short duration risk? Let's go to the trading application. Let's go to live trading. So I'm going to go to the trade tab here on Thinkorswim. Okay, I'm going to pull up the spiders. How many people here know Thinkorswim? Anybody here know Thinkorswim? Okay, TOS. Anybody here know Thinkorswim? How many people trade on this one? Anybody trade on this one? Okay, so if you trade on Thinkorswim, put in TOS. If you trade on Tasty, put in Tasty. I'm just curious, who trades on what? Okay, put in the brokerage firm, TOS. Okay, both, I like it. TOS, all right. Oh, we don't have that many Tasty people in here. Okay, so I got to tell you, you better get used to Tasty real quick. I worked here for better part of 15 years. And everybody I worked with, they went bye-bye. They went bye-bye. And Charles Schwab is about to do clearing conversion this year. Okay, so yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that. Anyway, it's good. All right, so a lot of people are familiar with Questrade in Canada. Okay, Canadians, there's always got to be one of them. Okay, I'll go easy on the Canadians today. I'll go easy on you. All right, I spent a lot of time in Canada being tortured by Toronto Dominion. Obviously, TD Ameritrade was owned by Toronto Dominion. It's where all the board meetings happen. I've been tortured. I've been tortured many times. So we're going to go into TOS. We're going to go into the spiders. I'm going to come all the way out here 108 days out. You know why I'm going 108 days out? Because I want to frustrate you. Okay, I really, really do. And look, I already have positions in here. I don't care if I have positions. This one's perfect. Okay, you know, the last time I did one of these presentations, I talked about the exact same option. In fact, I'm going to use almost the exact same example. And I love it because you get to see stuff working kind of firsthand. So I'm going to go out, okay, and suffice to say, I'm going to say that let's sell, okay, the 19th of May, 455 call option. And the market right now is 104 at 107. Okay, I'm going to get a fill here, at least at 105, if not 106. So I'll put in 105. Okay, so I'm going to sell this and I'm going to collect $1.05. Let me fix that a little bit so you guys can make sure you can read it. 10. Hard to draw 5 on this thing. 105. right? So 105 is the credit I'm going to receive. In fact, here, I'll go work it. Work it! So the market right now is 104 at 106. I'll actually work them at 106. I'll even work it at 107. Okay, so I'm not going to fill right now at 107, but you know what? I'll change my mind. I'll work it at 106 and give myself a better probability of a fill. So I'm going to work at 106. So now I am working. Okay, what working basically means work it. Want to see me working? Okay, I just worked. Whoops. Okay, I will show you what working means right now. Okay, there we go. If you take a look, there I am. I'm on the NASDAQ. Checked in one lot. Oh, I'm going to fill. I'm going to fill. I'm the mid price right now. They're going to fill me. They're going to fill me. They are going to fill me because we're 105, 107. But my little one lot is tying up the entire NASDAQ right now. That is awesome. By the way, I spent 7 years building some of the routing systems for Thinkorswim. So I am intimately familiar with it. Anyway, in this example, okay, so we're 105, 106, and I'm next in line to be filled here. We're 105, 106. I'm just saying we're going to sell it for 105, right? So time out for a second. That's it. That is the initial trade. When I say the initial trade, okay, everybody goes, excuse me, you just sold something 108 days out. And if I look at the decay graph, okay, sell the May 455s, but you're all the way out here, 3 months out. It's going to take forever for that thing to decay. Is it? Because what I'm going to do is this. All factors being held equal, just time out for a second. If I looked at the 455, if I looked at the 455 call, okay, with 108 days, I'm going to look at the same 455 call with 80 days. Now, what's the difference between 108 days and 80 days? What's the difference? Okay, higher math over here, it's 28 days. So 28 days into the future, forget about movement. I know the market's going to go higher, the market's going to go lower, volatility is going to change, but all things being equal, is there wonderful amounts of decay in options that are 108 days out? Let's go find out. Let's open up the 80-day options. So all I'm saying, suffice to say, I sold a May 19th option. All factors being held equal, let's say I bought it back 28 days from now. Exactly 28 days from now, less than a month, a February month, okay? If I went back and bought back the 455s, what would they be trading for? Okay, survey says 50 cents. So 1 month from now, I'm going to go, okay, and I'm going to buy back my 19th of May 455 call, and I'm going to pay exactly 50 cents to get it back. What am I up? Okay, beyond, it should be greater than 50%. I'm making 50% on the option that I sold in less than 1 month. People want to learn to make monthly returns right now, learn to sell the right options. These very far out of the money options have phenomenal rates of decay. And people constantly ask, in a business that's very efficient these days, where can you as a retail trader find edge? How come you didn't know about that one? And if you did know about that one, it's from us, okay? This is what works on the retail side right now. Why am I going so far out in time? You have to realize people are selling short-dated options right now. They're selling stuff that has 1 day left, 0 day left. You realize when you sell an option with short amounts of time, okay, that's actually really knocked down. Look at this. The options you're selling, there's almost nothing left. Maybe you sell an option that has 3 days left. Woo, 3 days left. Ooh, there's lots of money. There's what, $1.50 to be made here? Do you think the market can get to 411? Of course it can. And if it does, you're getting destroyed. Absolutely destroyed in here. Me, I'm selling the 455s. I'm $50 out of the money on a $400 product. By the way, you know what that product is? That's the S&P 500. The S&P 500 has to rally another what? 10 to 12% to even make me feel threatened. Okay, hurt me. It's got to rally huge by huge. What I want you to see is there's wonderful amounts of decay. Now, we haven't even talked about reducing risk, but you can collect 50%, 50% in less than 30 days, okay, with negligible amounts of risk, selling an option that is $50 away from current valuation. Why am I out here, the 108-day options? Because they're slow. They're very slow. They're slugs of the marketplace. They're barely moving out there. Okay. And that's good. So if you can collect 50%, okay, in less than 30 days, what do you need to do? You tell me, what do you need to do? You need to get ramped up, learn how to mitigate the risk, and do it. When I say you get ramped up, you don't just do one. You don't go out there and go, all right, baby, let's just go out there and let's do 50 contracts of that. We're actually going to teach you how to systematically go out and sell option premium. You're going to hold option premium for less than 30 days. So, everybody wants to learn to make money month to month. Don't use this short-term crap. You're going to get killed. The short-term stuff, the volatilities are too low. You go a little further out, there's a lot more volatility out here, a lot more meat to sell into. So in this particular case, I'm gaining more than 50%, selling a longer duration option. I don't mind showing you like all the accounts that I've got on in here, and I've got a bunch of them in here. In fact, here, I'll even open up a multitude more of accounts. You can actually see me. I'm selling options. Look at this. I'm 80 days, 108 days out, 108 days out. Okay, 59 days out, 80 days, 59 days out. These are hedges in here, which are 17 days out. Then you have a 108-day option in here. Okay, listen, we don't just talk about it, we trade it. Right? And that's one of the most critical things is, forget what somebody says. Doesn't matter what anybody says. Okay. Do you think there's a reason that I have these positions on right now? Okay. By the way, that's only one account. Let me jump forward or back over to the Thinkorswim account. Okay. Take a look at the positions that I've got on in here. All right. Look, I'm out here 87 days, 108 days, 108 days. Okay. Open this up, 108 days, 87 days. I'm far duration. Why am I in duration? Because I can tell you right now, that's what works. I want to learn this business. People, this is what works. What you've got to learn is there's not just one product per se. People look at that and go, why do you trade the spiders? I love explaining it in the spiders because the spiders are not like Tesla. Tesla can rip your head right off your shoulders. Gone. Something like the spiders, though, it's slower. It's methodical. What do I care? Like people go, I want to trade something that's crazy. Why? Why do you want to trade? You want to trade some Chipotle? I want to trade, the 1,500-pound burrito brothers. Okay. Why would you want to do that? Listen, this business is about one thing. It's about making money. It's not supposed to be fun. Okay. It can be a little entertaining at times, but again, it's supposed to be methodical. What you have to understand about selling options. Okay. If you really want to learn this business, you want to learn about selling options. Okay. It's about one thing. It's about inventory. Right. You cannot look at this as, I put this position on and I hope we go up or I hope we go down. That doesn't work. That crap will not work in this marketplace. Okay. Not to be argumentative, but hopium, okay, it might sell, but it ain't going to work. It's just not going to work in this marketplace because you'd be right 4 or 5 times. Then you're just going to get your head taken off and set yourself right back to zero. This is what people do that sell options. They make money, make money, make money, make money, make money. Boom, get hit by a Mack truck and end up losing it all. That is what we are going to fix. What we are going to do is teach you to be more of an inventory manager. And I'll make just a quick, I guess, idea on this one. So selling options premium is no different than any other inventory management business. Like here, I always keep this on my desk over here because I got fidget. Okay. I got fidgety. So it's a fidget spinner. My kids have these things all over the house. So I end up grabbing them, right? It's a fidget spinner. By the way, I can make it disappear. Okay. Disappearing fidget spinner. And it's right there. It's amusing. I don't know why the Zoom camera does that, but I'm amused by it. Fidget spinner. You, okay, are now in the fidget spinner business. If you're in the fidget spinner business and you want to sell these on Amazon, what do you got to do? You got to sell as many as freaking possible. You got to basically go out there. You got to sell them for $2. You got to buy them for $1. You got to be over and done with. Does that make sense? Okay. I want you to understand just conceptually what you're really trying to do. You're trying to basically, if you're going to be in the fidget spinner business, you want to be the best in the fidget spinner business. How are you the best? By churning through the most inventory plausible. That's it. That's how you do it. Why? The more inventory you go through, okay, the more profit it's possible. By the way, I just sold that for 106. So filled, he's filled. The more inventory you can get through, the more profitable you can be. You don't necessarily have to overtrade. You just basically have to put on positions, take them off, put them on, take them off. Because every time that you do so, right, there's degrees of profitability. Now, if you're going to be in the fidget spinner business, there's a cost of doing business. You're going to have an LLC and you're going to have to set up all this crap and you're going to have insurance. Before you know it, you're paying Medicare and Medicaid. There's no difference inside of the option business. But in the option business, I have to teach you how to hedge. Hedging is what we term the sacrificial lamb. You must learn risk reduction. We're going to get into that in just a minute. Okay. So everybody understand though, conceptually, sell something further out in time, buy it back, make 50%. Then what do? Do it again, do it again, do it again. I don't know how to explain that. What you have to now worry about though is the 90% probability and the 10% hammer. See, what people do when they learn to sell option premium, they get a little carried away. Okay. Most of you that learned to sell option premium probably learned the strategy called, all right, the iron condor. Dun, 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 iron condor. For those of you that have absolutely no idea what an iron condor is, come out here, you sell a call, then you buy a call. You sell a put, then you turn around and buy a put. What are you looking for? A market that stays in here. How many people have done this? Okay. How many people have actually done the iron condor? So you come in here and do an iron condor. As long as we stay in this range, okay, you're going to be profitable. How often can we stay in this range? I don't know. You can fine tune these things. A lot of iron condors people will do have a 90% probability of success. It's what I call the 90% probability and the 10% hammer. All right. What this basically means is you're doing an iron condor, and the first time you go out and you do an iron condor, okay, you sell an iron condor. And I want to bring this up because some of you have already been through this. You sell an iron in a product called SPY, and you do one contract. And guess what? That one contract, it makes money. You want to know why this SPY contract made money? Because it had a 90% probability. Then the second time you do it, you don't do one contract. Now you're in the spiders and you do 5 contracts. And the second time you do it, check, you make money. Yes. And the third time you do the iron condor, then you move into a product called SPX. And you do one contract in the SPX. By the way, most people have no idea what the SPX is. The SPX is what I term the mother of all products. The SPX is exactly 10 times the spiders. The SPX is also a place that you're going to go to die. Okay. They just don't tell you that, right? There's no label that says the SPX, this is the place I go die. Anyway, so the SPX exactly 10 times. And guess what? On the third time you do it, you make money. And then the SPX again, you go, this is 3 months in a row. You never thought to yourself for a second, not even a second, you're doing trades with a 90% probability. You haven't done anything good. You've just done stuff that has high probability. So in the fourth time you do the trade, and the fourth time you do the trade, you go into the SPX and you're thinking, you're squawking your feathers, and go into the SPX and you do a 10 lot in the SPX because you're thinking you're going to be the next Warren Buffett. And that one comes in and goes, come on, come on, oh, 10 lot, we got one. And of course, what happens? Not only do you lose everything on that 10 lot, you end up losing everything you made on the previous 3 trades, plus you lost 50% plus of your account. Anybody ever done that one before? The SPX, it is. I like that. It's the Widowmaker. It's what I call it. I call it the mother of all products. That is my name for it, the mother of all products in here. Okay. You got to understand, train wreck. Your losses exceed the gains of the previous 3 trades. It's like I could see your account. Of course, I could see your account. For 15 years, I could see your account. You know how many times I've seen people make money in iron condors and just blow themselves completely to shreds? By the way, somebody's asking the right question. What if things go wrong? What happens if you're going to lose money doing this? That's exactly what we're going to get to. But before I get there, I just want to poke holes at everything you've ever done before in selling option premium, because I want you to understand something. Okay, we're not new. All right, we're not new. I didn't, I listened to different education stuff. I didn't drive a cab before running a derivatives firm. Okay, I ran a derivatives firm pretty much out of college, went on to run a division of Thinkorswim, went on to run a division of TD Ameritrade, and then we built TheoTrade. We've been trading our entire life. This is what people do. Okay, they make money, they get annihilated, and they go, what happened? What happened? And they paid $500 to even learn how to do an iron condor. And then they go to another class. The next class says, you can fix it. You can fix anything. Okay. I can't stand the word fix. Do not even can I fix a losing trade? Yeah. Take a car, drive it right off of a cliff, and then bring it to a body shop. What are they going to tell you? They're like, Oh, that's a piece of crap. Okay, I'm going to tell you the exact same thing about your trade. Good trade gone bad. Got to let stuff go. By the way, the idea of fixing a trade, do you understand that fixing a trade is throwing more good money after an already losing position? It's everything that you're taught not to do in this business. You go, oh, I can turn an iron condor into a butterfly, into this. It's an amalgamation of crap. Okay, I'm augmenting it. Okay, yeah, your augmentation is just going to cost you more money and more transaction costs. It's brutal. You got to throw it out like yesterday's trash. Look, if you want to do this, you got to learn to do it right. We're going to learn to sell options premium. We're going to teach you a little bit about inventory management. Again, as I said, okay, this is a business. Like, forget about options. It doesn't matter. It's a business about fidget spinners. Okay. And I love to use the fidget spinner because, like, it doesn't really like make a difference. Like right now, let's go look over at the spiders. Okay. Here's the spiders are trading here, 400. I'll just round them. They're trading at 400. So if the SPY is trading at 400, SPY is at, we'll call it 400. I'm going to go out and I'm going to sell 455 calls. And of course, I'm going to collect about $1 and go, what if that goes wrong? Don't worry about that yet. It's all going to be okay. By the way, simultaneously, okay, that means at the same time, I'm probably going to go out also and sell some puts. In this case, I'm probably going to sell, all right, the 330 puts. Okay, and those 330 puts, let's say they're trading for $2. Oh yeah, did I mention that puts are trading for double the calls? Did I mention that? No, I did not. Why? Because puts can be dangerous. Oh, I'm selling naked puts. Don't worry about the naked part just yet. What I need you to understand is this is going to be Ultima. You want to see the full Monty? Just wait. Now, let me just show you in real context. Are puts truly trading for about double? Go 108 days out. By the way, I'm just estimating here. 108 days out. Let's open up every single option in here. Let's go to those 320s. Okay. All right. The 320s are $1.56, $1.57. Okay. I'm sorry. Oh, I did 330s. I do apologize. I did 330s. Holy crap. The 330s are right at $2. He's the winner. I only made markets for most of my life. You'd think I would know that one. But yeah, I did 330s in here. So, because I knew we were at about 404, they should be trading. If this was at 400, these would be at $2. That's about right. Okay. So ease up on me for a second. So anyway, I'm going to sell a call out here, and then I'm going to sell a put out here. You know what I'm going to do after that? I have a great idea. I'm going to sell another call out here, and that's going to be of like the 465 variety. And that's if the market rallies. Okay. And then maybe I'll end up selling, I'll sell, for instance, 340 put, maybe collect another $2. I'm just trying to round it. All I'm trying to do is build a little bit of inventory, right? So why do I build inventory? First of all, if you guys are concerned about margin, time out. This is the time for me to discuss it. Don't worry about margin. Okay. You want to circumnavigate margin. There's a product. Okay. When I say product, like SPY is a product, right? ES is a product. What is ES? Anybody know what ES is? Anybody know what ES is? Pretty quiet in here. ES, okay, is the S&P futures contract. ES also has options, but they have a new product called MES. You know what MES means? It means micro. Tiny, micro. Want to know what the micro ties up? About $600 of margin. You can sell a whole lot of those, even with a $2,000 account, okay? $2,000 account, you can go out and actually do exactly what I'm talking about. How's that possible? Use micros. Why wouldn't you use micros? It only ties up $600 in a regular Reg T margin account. You go, my brokerage firm won't let me. It's okay, they will let you. We'll actually tell you how to get approved for that too, right? Not every brokerage firm necessarily likes options and futures contracts, but there's no difference. And I want you to understand, there's no difference between, like, when people look at this, they go, what's the difference between spiders and ES? You go, ES is a mysterious beast. It's an option on a futures contract. It's based on spiders. Okay, it's based on SPX. The MES is just 1/10 the size of this. How about trading a product that's so small? Okay, even the worst move in the marketplace, not going to kill you. All I want you to understand at this point, okay, margin, okay, that's not an issue. It's not going to be an issue. I'll show you how to get around the margin requirements. There's no day trading margin rules. There's none of it. Right? So you got to learn in this business right? That there's smaller products. There are more effective products. Now, when you look at this, what's the problem? So already somebody brought up, Jessica asked earlier, just what happens if the market keeps rallying? I got a better one for you. The rally doesn't scare me. You want to know what scares me? Okay, I'll tell you exactly what scares me. What scares me is geopolitical risk. Geopolitical risk means war breaks out. All of a sudden, I'm going to say this as eloquently as possible, all hell breaks loose in the world. These S&P 500s, oh, they're going to come down quick. All of a sudden, they just come ripping to the downside. You're like, oh, I'm finished. You would not be able to survive, and you'll lose a huge amount of money. Okay, enter the hedges. What if I placed just a very, very minute trade right there? Okay, we're going to call this a VIX vol spread. Okay, let me ask you something. What is VIX? VIX is the S&P 500 volatility index. If the market crashes, I mean full blown horrendous crash. If the market just tanks, the VIX goes where? Boom, up. This one tiny little position right here that I paid a negligible amount for explodes in value and actually covers many of the options that I sold. Okay, this is just a tactical, what's termed a tactical hedge, right? This is what Ultima does. Ultima teaches you to sell options premium, but we use a sacrificial lamb. We're using VIX as our sacrificial lamb. When I say a sacrificial lamb, okay, I say a sacrificial lamb, if the market goes down, the VIX can explode. Now, there's several different types, okay, of VIX hedges, but here's the reality. I'm selling options so far out of the money, okay? The VIX the VIX would be at 40 or 50 if we got all the way down, okay, to the 330 level in markets. You go, what if it doesn't? There's other hedges we can use. But in this context, okay, I want people to see immediately, do I trade VIX? Again, everything that we talk about here, a little 6-lot trade on the VIX. Look, I'm losing money on it. What do I care? I paid next to nothing. I paid like 80 cents for this trade. That one little trade protects massive amounts of risk. And this thing is going to kick in, with almost nothing moving VIX. So that one little trade can protect tens of thousands of dollars of risk. That's all you need. Blank the screen. What you need to understand about Ultima, okay? Ultima is it's not about just selling options. It's how to hedge, okay? So enter the hedges. You can't survive without it. If you're in the business of fidget spinners, as we were joking about earlier, okay, you got to have insurance. You got to have Medicare, Medicaid. Before you know it, you're giving health insurance to employees out there. Okay, it's insane how much you have to have set up just to be able to sell fidget spinners. In this business, in finance, you just have to have hedges. What are the hedges going to be? Okay, there are 3 primary hedges that we use. We use trades, okay, called risk twist spreads. Okay. 2, we actually use VIX vol spreads. And number 3, we use gamma irons. Okay. All of that is for one purpose, for me to go out and to function as a premium seller. I'm going to go out and sell those 455s. I'm going to be selling, for instance, 465s. I'm going to be selling 330 puts. Definitely going to be selling some 320 puts before I know it. Probably going to be selling 310 puts. I'm going to layer in as much inventory as I possibly can. I'll have something like a VIX volatility spread placed right here. Okay. If you're not comfortable with the VIX spread, we use another strategy. That strategy is called inflection point. We also have gamma irons. The gamma iron will actually protect upside. So if we explode higher, you got to pass through the gamma iron before you can ever take a loss in the 455s. Hedging, okay, it's a negligible cost associated with hedging. But if you go out there and you have any other kind of business, it's the cost of doing business. People say, when do you hedge? You always hedge. It's your lifeline in this business. And without it, you can't function. When I actually look at this, okay, when I look at this and you go, oh, this is a lot, okay, it's a lot, all right? Look, you're going to need to do something more than trying to figure out what's the next stock to buy. There might come a time again when there is another stock to buy. In the meantime, you're going to have to sell premium. You're going to have to manage risk. You're going to have to learn a little bit about Ultima, not everything, but this is why you want to be able to sell premium. So you can sell this in a small account. Okay. And I want to bring back a small account. I'm actually going to go to a completely blank account for a second. This is an account I just set up the other day, and I set this account up specifically to trade very, very small within. Okay. And I want to show you something because this is a standard margin account, nothing to see here. Most of the time I trade in my IRA. This is a standard account. Look, I'm going to go out 87 days. I just want to make a very, very brief point with this. If I sold, okay, this option right here, the buying power effect, it's right there. It's $646 in buying. That's for selling a naked call. That's, before I've hedged it or anything, but I can sell something naked in here, okay? It'll only tie up $600 in margin, right? And that's the area where, like, a lot of people, they're just like, oh, I had no idea, okay? And they don't. Look, produces positive decay, can enhance existing positions. You can actually use this against existing positions, provides an incredibly high probability of success. You never need to buy or sell the stock, and you could be wrong in market direction and still produce profitable trades. I say this, you need this in your life. I'm not joking about that. You need this in your life. Look, selling premium could potentially bring in consistent returns while minimizing your risk. You want to learn how to do this the right way? You're going to learn a little bit about criteria. Okay, here's a few live trading examples, though, before I do that. One of the first things I want to bring to your attention, everything that we do here at TheoTrade is done, okay, as live trading, right? We don't just sit here and, hey, this is a class on doing this, okay? Forget all that. There's no more class on how to do something, okay? Do we have classes on how to do it? Unequivocally, yes. But there's a reason now that we actually call this Ultima Alert. I am a big advocate, okay, of teaching people how to go out, how to manage risk, teaching people how to trade. Now, I'm even a bigger advocate. If you even learn conceptually how to do it, why can't you just follow alerts? Okay. Here's a couple of trading examples. Everything that I'm showing right now can be done with as little as $2,000 in a funded brokerage account. Okay. Can be done inside of retirement accounts as well. So one of the things I want to show you in here as well, I'm actually trading inside. This happens to be none other than an IRA. So you can actually see this is a big position in here. It's only tying up $10,000 in margin. It's a big position. I've got all kinds of stuff in here. It's a decent sized position. It's only tying up $10,000. That's in an IRA. In a regular margin account, that'd tie up $5,000. Okay. Can you do that? People go, yes, you can. You just have to learn, okay, how to construct it. So what I'm doing here, you can have as little as $2,000 in a funded account and retirement accounts. All I'm going to show you is like, look, these are opening trades and closing trades. And I'm going all the way back to 2021 because we have results from 2021. We have results from 2022. So if I go back to 2021, I'm just going to rip through these really quick, and then I'm going to show you some more recent trades. And the reason I'm doing this is just to show you a little bit about kind of how we went back. This is screenshots. These are screenshots, copy and pasted from Thinkorswim directly into this PowerPoint. It's the opening date of the trade, the closing date of the trade, okay? The exact strike price, it's a call, to open, to close, the exact price I opened, the exact price I closed, and the return down below of each individual position. I'm going to scroll through it relatively quickly, okay? I just want you to see these are trades that I not only did, these are trade alerts. What's alert? Well, now we call it Ultima Alert. We have made a very tactical decision here at TheoTrade. Everything that I now do is being put into a portfolio and shot out via alerts, okay, to the masses. Everything, okay? We're doing totally no holds barred. When I trade now, okay, those trades will then subsequently go out as alerts. If you take a look, SPY short put, and I'm just going to rip through here. So I'm actually showing you some trades in the spiders, okay? And I'm showing the results from 2021 because it was a year the markets were straight up, right? You'll just see IWM here. There's a 19% loss, nothing too big, 54%, 54, 49%. But every single position, it's just an open, it's a close. It's an open, it's a close. It's an open, it's a close. It's pretty rudimentary. Once you gain a little bit more experience, and I'm kind of scrolling through here quickly, but when you start to gain more experience, you can step up into some bigger products. By the way, you notice I like to trade some bonds in here, okay? When you're actually looking at this, Tesla short call, QQQ, Amazon, QQQ. When I say you get a little bit more knowledge under your belt, you start to use products like S&P options and futures. Why? This is a much bigger trade. The S&P options and futures is the equivalency of 5 contracts of Spider. So we start to go through. Then when you get a little bit more knowledge under your belt, okay, we can actually alter strategy, like, a little variance. This is called a Christmas tree. Christmas tree is just a ratio done in the Spiders, 85% return on that one, okay? And again, I'm just showing you return after return. And I'm scrolling through this relatively quickly, okay? Because it's a year ago. Then I'm actually going to jump in. Now we're into 2022, okay? But I've got something, there's another Christmas tree spread in here. Most of these are ES now, bond short put, ES, okay? Every one of these trades be fired out. So I I stopped after about 18 months of results. There's 18 months right there. If you're so inclined, we actually have now all the results, and we had this just put together. This is a spreadsheet of every trade of Ultima done in 2022. As I scroll down, it's every single trade kind of matched up to open to open to open to close to close to close. Every hedge is in here. And if you're kind of curious, okay, we turned out $28,314.75. I have, and you did this in a $50,000 account. I never ever used anywhere near $50,000 in margin. But to be fair, people constantly ask me, what are the returns? This particular portfolio could have been done in a $5,000 account. Now, in a $5,000 account, take off obviously one of the decimal points, it would have been about $2,800 of profitability in here, okay? And I don't mind saying that I never got anywhere near $50,000 in margin. I never used, more than $20,000 of margin at any point in time, and produced $28,000 of returns, okay? Which, if I base this on a $50,000 account, I believe is about 56% return in a year where the S&Ps were down, okay, over 20%. Those last year's returns. And I'll bring that back up a little bit later, okay? But I like to show, like, we've changed a lot of the methodology here at TheoTrade. If you don't have a lot of time to do this, not a problem. Every trade today was displayed live at TheoTrade. Trade results were showing a perfect for part-timers. Selling premium is hands-off. We can even use set and forget order types, which are GTC. So even a fraction of your time is enough to see results. What's changing now here at TheoTrade? Now we're going to provide real-time trade alerts for everything that we do. We've actually reserved, some of the trade alerts for different portfolios. You got to pay more for this, pay more. Trade alerts come out to you now in real time for a $50,000 portfolio. Trade alerts will also come out to you in real time now for a $2,000 portfolio, okay? We actually have the trade alerts. It's all set up, okay? That's portions of today. Pretty good time to do this. Maybe you don't have enough time to learn a new skill set. Listen, I urge you, learn about Ultima, okay? Learn about Ultima. However, follow our real-time trade alerts, because we've had phenomenal success over the last 2 years. We're in the 3rd year, obviously, of selling premium here, but selling premium is a wonderful hedge for recessionary times. Markets could be in bout and volatility for years to come, right? So look, what our members are saying, this comes in March 16th, just a while ago, but I don't mind saying it. Wow. I want to thank you again for what you've taught me over the last 2.5 years. About risk twist spreads, duration positions, started to trade options a year ago, missed out on the last market move up, but my IRA is up 14.8% for the year. This is actually from last March, but to be up in March, 14.8%, okay, it's an investment well worth the time. Characteristics, okay, of selling Ultima. The attributes are undeniable. You never have to buy or sell the stock. Risk can be dialed into precisely your comfort level. We don't use stop orders. You're going to vary time frames to minimize risk. Probability of profitability is high. It's a perfect strategy to enhance one's stocks portfolio. It's an excellent tool, okay, for those seeking returns to build an account. And of course, new products allow for sale of options in any account size. Those micros with a $2,000 account, you can do it. But of course, you got to learn to build a portfolio of options. Do not let the options portion of this intimidate you. Okay, let alerts do the work for you. You got to understand some of the basics of options, like what a call is, what a put is. You got to understand options, the quickest, the fastest, the safest, the easiest way to get where you want to go in the stock market. Okay, but you do actually have to learn about them to put the alerts to work for you. Selling premium can be done for minimal credits, minimal risk. Again, let the alerts do the work for you. You can sell Ultima Premium. Maybe you know nothing about options. You have limited experience in options. As I said, don't let the options portion of this intimidate you, because you're going to need these strategies for the foreseeable market future. So we can show you how, we can show you when, okay, to sell premium in a matter of a few hours, okay, just to get you ramped up to selling premium. But more importantly, TheoTrade now produces real-time trade alerts, okay? This is what you would need to know to successfully sell Ultima Premium for a living. You got to know what underlying stocks, okay, make the best Ultima Premium selling candidates. You saw what I trade. You got to know what volatility to seek out. Like, think about that. Like, what volatility should I do? Should I do something here on Tesla? Okay, don't question. Okay, just trade what we're trading. What options expiration do I select? Like, have you seen how many option expirations there are? Okay, this happens to be spiders, but oh my, you could be trading like ES, like I was talking about the ES a moment ago. Just go in here to the ES. You know that there's daily expirations right now? Look at this. This is chaos. It's just chaos. You gotta actually dial into exactly. I don't mind saying, look, trading the 108 and the 87 day. Okay, you can follow into it. What should be the delta of option I sell? What should be the delta of the option I buy? How do I position this? What do I use for a hedge? How do I build the position? Do I need a large amount of capital in my account to do this? By the way, the answer is no, you don't. You can have $2,000 in the account. What's the right amount of risk for you? We can dial that in. What are the percentage returns supposed to be? Okay. How do I protect myself from market crashes when selling options? You know, let me show you exactly what we do here at TheoTrade. TheoTrade creates recipes in trading. What a recipe is, we literally have criteria, step by step, every nuance of how to get in and out of that. And now we do real-time alerts based on those pieces of criteria. We've had thousands of clients. There's presently 6,000 people on the TheoTrade platform. And within TheoTrade, everybody's going through the same criterion, roughly doing very similar trades. Now we're actually going through and doing the exact same trades with you. We're trading them anyway. So we just basically set it up to automate. When I execute a trade, it comes out to you as an alert. You know, you're going to learn that trading is always answering like the what ifs. What might be a good stock? What's the correct options expiration? How much capital do I commit? Which strike price do I sell? What options do I buy? How can I limit my risk? We have those answers and trade alerts. We build recipes with definitive criteria, these checklists for each strategy and each unique variable you're going to encounter. Think about the variables in trading. What if the market goes up huge? What if it goes down huge? What if we crash? What if we explode to the upside on Wednesday when the Fed comes out and says, oh my, I'm scared, okay? And now, okay, we're taking TheoTrade a step beyond. Welcome to Ultima Alerts. TheoTrade is the answer to those questions. We'll give you the right probability. How many option contracts? When do you close the premium sell? What if you sell off big? This is what we do, okay? What if we rally massively? Can I fix a losing position? We give you the how, the when, the why, at what price. And if you're selling option premium for a living, you need this. You can read what selling Ultima Premium is. You might even know how to build a few trades, okay? And I always tell this to people, you can Google everything. Google everything about selling premium. 10,000 pages are gonna come up. What you really need though is TheoTrade's alerts. 20 plus years trading experience. That's just me, okay? There are 7 other full-time traders, okay, that are employed here at TheoTrade. Access to client order flow for 15 years. I put that in there because we know, via having looked at order flow, what works and what doesn't, specifically on the retail side. I've viewed and studied millions of accounts, ran education at TD Ameritrade and Thinkorswim for the better part of 15 years. Ultima Trade Alerts is your recipe for success. We literally spent years fine-tuning the trade setup and the criteria, and now real-time alerts, okay, and the convenience of your mobile device is available to you. This is a brand new service. We are rolling it out for the first time here, now, today, okay? No and or if about it. Ultima Alert, okay? Done from any mobile device. You can even execute now specifically over the mobile device. I happen to be the trader for the portfolio. there are two primary portfolios that you will immediately receive access to. You'll receive access to what we term Theo Theta Small. That's the Ultima small portfolio, okay? Account size suggested is $5,000. The Theo Theta big boy portfolio, suggested account size, $50,000. Now, what I do in the small account, you can just do more of. If you say I have a $15,000 account, whenever I send out a trade, you do 3 times as much. If you say I have a $150,000 account, you just do 3 times as much as the big portfolio. The trade alerts are for 12 months. You still receive access to everything we do here at TheoTrade. It's $997. It's $1,000 for the year. Okay. It's under theotrade.com/UA. It's Ultima Alerts. Theotrade.com/UA. In addition to it, I'm going to explain a little bit about it. Okay. By the way, there's a million questions coming in. I'm going to answer them as much as I possibly can. It is 1 year of access. No more 3 months access to the website. You don't have to worry about learning. I do absolutely unequivocally want you to learn about the basics so that you know when you get onto your trading application. And again, you got to get onto your trading application, if you will. Okay. I'll go in here. This is actually my mobile Tastyworks. Whoa, it's like not showing up. It's my mobile Tastyworks account. I receive an alert. I can immediately just execute whatever I received. Okay, I'll show you exactly what the alerts look like here. And it's literally that easy. Never before in the history of TheoTrade, and we launched in 2016, have we ever come out, okay, and actually produced trade alerts at this level. Never, okay? We waited for the track record to be as solid as it presently is. After we got through 2022, we're like, well, we've had 2021 extremely solid results. We've had 2022 trading the portfolio. Okay, we never switched up portfolios, never did anything. Ultima works. Okay, we started recording all the results in 2021. After 2 years of results, figured I think people will be a little bit more comfortable with that. Now, you still receive everything that TheoTrade does. But at this point in time, we realize people, they want to get back on the pony in this marketplace and immediately see some results. To do that, trade alerts are the way to go. Okay, it's 12 months. And as I said, it's brand new. It's theotrade.com/UA. It's $997 to incentivize you. Well, we're going to show you that in just a moment. Let me explain this. The income alerts, okay, as I said, they are sent to a mobile device. We do text messaging and we do push notification. Push notification, we have our own mobile application. So if I pop once again into my cell phone here, type in Theo, okay, we have our own mobile app, okay? It disappeared in the mobile application. It's a TheoTrade mobile application, which, sorry to bring that up so close. It'll actually push notifications to you. Now, we do have text alerts as well. With the text alerts that come out, it's fine. If you get text alerts, by the way, we actually do now have text alerts even into Canada. So Canadian, but we run into an issue. Somebody said, they're over in Finland. So can't guarantee I can get a text to there. So what we do is push notification. Push notification you can get literally anywhere in the world. We have clients down in Australia getting alerted in the middle of the night. It's good stuff. Maybe not for their sleep, but good stuff. They're getting the alerts. Now, the premium selling portfolio. It's full disclosure, opening trades, closing trades, all hedging positions, everything. You get to watch me trade and discuss positions like never before. We are also giving you the Theo Theta Small, okay? The small portfolio is for accounts. You can do it with $2,000. My suggestion is $5,000. And I don't mind saying that. You can do it with $2,000. My suggestion is $5,000, okay? With all of this, we are going to do a 90-day money-back guarantee, all right? For 90 days, you're signing up. I got it for a year. Okay. Go to the web address right now. You can sign up for it. Again, I'll even throw it up here. It's theotrade.com/UA. And I'll even bring up, that site. Okay. It'll explain this in a bit more depth. Theotrade.com/UA. Right. As we said, $50,000 portfolio, $5,000 portfolio. It's $997. Okay. When you go through this, understand. Okay. Money back guarantee for the first 90 days. No excuses, no questions. There's no stipulations. There are none. Okay. Listen, I get it. Life gets in the way. Crap happens. It's $1,000. Okay. we want you to understand something. We want people that want to be here. We want people that want to be able to trade. We want people to have success in this business, all right? And to ultimately grow through with us. We have 6,000 clients on board. Okay. The reputation of TheoTrade is absolutely stellar because we do stuff like this. The 90-day money back guarantee, okay, is on the 1-year subscription. 90 days from now, if it's not for you, we get it. You can watch the videos, you can watch all the trade alerts, you can get a feel for it. We wanted to give you a way to do this, okay, and make it a riskless trade. It's Ultima Alert. Again, it's directly to your phone. The portfolio that you will also have access to looks like this. This is the Ultima portfolio. Now, this is the bigger of the portfolio. You can see I'm selling 2 strangles in here, buying a vertical spread. I do some ZB. If this looks foreign to you, that's what the class will explain. There's a class to go through with this. Now, this is the 2022 Ultima portfolio returns on a $50,000 account. In fairness, as I reiterated earlier, okay, we just audited the results. And as I showed you a moment ago, let me bring it back up, showed you a moment ago, the results come from this spreadsheet. It's every trade that I did. And I don't want you to think that I overtrade. I'm not here to overtrade. Look, I start on line 2 over here with a trade, goes to line 81. So there you go. It's about 80 trades that were done in the year. Nothing more, nothing less. I hope I'm not overtrading. Okay, it's about 80 trades. That's opening and closing transactions. Opening and closing. Okay, it did about a 56% return on a $50,000 account. I never, though, really went over $20,000 of margin, okay? But I suggest that you have a $50,000 account because if crap gets crazy, right, you could use the extra room. And I reiterate that, and I don't mind saying that. And you go, well, I only have, $20,000. Well, if you only have $20,000, I'm telling you, it's fine. Just follow the small portfolio and do more of the small portfolio. Small portfolio is not going to hold you back. Small portfolio is going to be phenomenal, okay? It's good. It's good stuff. All right. So this is the actual portfolio. These are the returns. We also do weekly update videos. So each week, if you are so inclined, like you've done a couple of trades throughout the course of the week, you're like, why did he do this? Okay. Well, to save myself 5,000 emails, I actually do a 12-minute video. Every week, I do a 12-minute video, and the 12-minute video will update you on everything I do in the big portfolio and the small portfolio. That's it. Okay. What do the text messages look like? They look like this. Okay. Ultima, trade, Theo Theta small, portfolio, sell 3,400 put, sell the 4,500 call. Okay. By the way, this one already had a hedge on it. Okay. And then we were buying back the 4,500 call for 440 debit. You can see in one of them, this was the opening transaction and this was the closing transaction. Pretty cool, right? This was done for a net credit. This is done for a net debit, right? Not half bad return on that one. But again, we will take you through the nuances of how to do this. What our members are saying. My closed year-to-date profit from Ultima Trades has paid for my yearly TheoTrade subscription. Okay. Now this, people, this is before the alerts have really come out. Okay. This goes back to last March. I just wanted to bring that up. I hit it hard early last year in 2022. We killed it in early, 2022. And a lot of people made the money. That was before adamant about these alerts. Okay. Here it comes from Pat in January 11th. Very, very recent. Thank you for the reply. It's much appreciated. TheoTrade is the first educational trading service that I'm actually making a profit with and one that I can see a pathway to retirement. Okay. It comes from Pat. This one is literally comes in yesterday. I want to thank you for the different, for all the different staff and point of views in trading this year. Okay. I did more of what works and less of what didn't. Thanks to your selling premium and IPS's inflection point hedges took over $12,000 to $32,000 in 18 months. Okay. I'm doing the method. Thanks so much. Look forward to new ideas in the coming year. All right. This is getting a TheoTrade now. We're going to work with you directly. There are 20 spots today. 20 spots on the TheoTrade riskless deal. What that implies, it's pretty simple. We give you 90 days, okay, to check out everything. The first 20 people to enroll. And we do that obviously to incentivize people. Okay. The other thing that we're up against, we have 6,000 people on TheoTrade. We hope, okay, that there's going to be enough room for everybody to kind of pack in, but we give you 20 spots on here because it's pretty overwhelming having, for instance, 200 people come on and start trading alerts, every single week. It's a phenomenal number. We also provide you unlimited email mentor. want everybody to know right now, you're not on your own. We're not just going to give you alerts, give you a pat on the butt and say, you go to town. Doesn't work that way. If you need to talk to us, talk to us. Shoot us an email, support@theotrade.com. I will answer the email. Okay, Brian Aponte answers emails. Matt Williamson answers emails. Look, the $9.97 riskless offer, we have never done this before, ever, with income alerts. There's just no stipulation money back guarantee. The only stipulation here is the first 20 people to enroll for it get the 90-day money back guarantee. We do that, again, to incentivize. All right, so I want to jump back over to that page for just a second and clarify a few things. Support can actually help you guys. I want to make sure that everybody knows the page to go to. Okay, you jump over here to theotrade.com/U. Okay, U as in underwear, A as in apple. Okay, yeah, you know, my phonetics isn't that good. Theotrade.com/UA. It stands for Ultima Alerts. Okay, so theotrade.com/Ultima Alerts, which is UA. It'll take you directly to this page. It's 1 year of Ultima Income Generator text alerts. Comes with text and push notification. Again, $50,000 account, $5,000 account. Again, any account type, it will absolutely be effective inside of an IRA. We can actually help you with that. There are 20 riskless spots. When you click add to cart, and I want to bring this up because this is critically important. When you click add to cart, right? You're signing up for the Ultima Alert. Put your phone number in. Why do you put your phone number in? It will automatically enroll you for text alerts. But time out, okay? After putting your phone number in, what is going to happen is you're going to get a text message from one of the following numbers. If you're in Canada, okay, or if you are, okay, in the US. By the way, I know this is a weird, a 340, that's a weird area code. 340, it's the area code for where we live, okay? Yes, I'm in Arizona right now, but I live in St. Croix in the US Virgin Islands, okay? So we started using a local number. I think it's kind of cool. I like it. You're gonna receive a text message from those. You have to opt in and say yes, okay? It's kind of the legality behind text message. So get ready. After you enroll, get ready for a text message because the text message is coming to a theater near you. You're going to receive a text message. Just opt in and say yes. It's theotrade.com/UA. Okay, a couple things. I'm going to answer a couple of questions in here as well. Again, it's $997 total money back guarantee. And I want people, okay, to have like real comfort with what we're doing here, the trade alerts that are coming out. You know, I know people have had experiences in the past and so forth, but again, after 15 years in the brokerage business, we know precisely how to send these text messages out, how to mitigate the exposure, and we're going to show you all of it. And again, it's a pretty no-hold-barred approach to the portfolio. What our members are saying, this one actually came in today, right? When I took the screenshot, it came in 16 minutes ago. And said, Don, recently re-up with TheoTrade because of your Ultimate Income Generator program. Based on the market changes taking place in options trading, I was quickly convinced when I saw your presentation with Ultima is the best way investment. Okay. Just wanted you to know how special experience I had with Brian Aponte. By the way, Brian works for us. Okay. This past Friday, just getting started with your training videos and ran into a technical issue about 3:45. I sent an email to your support group. Okay. Closing time of 4 p.m. I thought I would have to wait till Monday to get help at 4:10. So this guy sends an email at 4 o'clock. By 4:10, the phone rang and it's Brian. Okay, extremely helpful and spent about 20 minutes with me. Listen, I just want you guys to know, yeah, we're here and that's what we do. Okay, so we're here to actually support everything inside of the learning curve. We're here to support from a technical perspective. Okay, we know Thinkorswim. Obviously, we helped build Thinkorswim. We know Tastyworks. In fact, Brian Aponte has been with Tastyworks since literally since day one on that platform. Let me answer some generalized questions, then get into specific questions. So let me make sure. All right. Anyway, with that, people constantly ask me, again, these are just generalized questions as you guys are enrolling for this. Okay. Yeah. So by the way, yes, we do live in the Virgin Islands now. So I've lived in Arizona pretty much since I'm about 17 years old, and we picked up right after the start of COVID, we picked up, we have 3 kids and we moved to the Virgin Islands because a bunch of friends that trade down there. They said it's a great trader community and so forth. And, oh, fantastic. So we moved there. Okay. And then, kids love it. I mean, what's not to love? You're about 50 yards off of the beach. It's a bunch of traders in the community. It's like neighborhoods were in the US like 25 years ago. Kids can ride their bikes. You can like run around. It's fun. Okay. Block parties and stuff. I like it, but I'm back in Arizona for a couple of weeks. I'm going to go back to the island for a few weeks, come back here a little bit. It's a nice time of the year to be in Scottsdale as well. All right. Couple of things that I'm going to fire at you over here. Okay. And I'm going to answer some of the specific questions, but I want general questions. People always say, what do you really need to get started here? A laptop and an internet connection. But really, at this point, just a phone. We've actually taken it just a phone. By the way, people go, I'm going to buy an iPad, do this on an iPad, buy the cheapest iPad possible. I trade off my iPad constantly. I have the $299 iPad from Walmart. And after a while, I just give it to the child after about a year, okay, of me beating up the iPad. I give it to like a child. It's, by the way, the better iPad, because I've had like the iPad Pro in years past. Yeah, it doesn't really trade any faster. I have zero, zero, like, whatever for the expensive iPad. I'm not into it. I would buy the $299 iPad if you're going to do it, or even cheaper, use a Google device. It's fine. It's fine to be able to execute trades on, because we build a mobile app that works on Android. We build a mobile app that works on iPhone. Thinkorswim and Tastyworks also build Android, and iOS applications. It's fine. So that's all you need to really, like, we need, nothing other than TheoTrade, and you get access to everything we do over here. Again, you're here for the trade alerts, but need I remind everybody, okay, this is a part that I haven't even gotten into. Right here, this is a live trading room. You get access to that. We're not going to take stuff away from you. You get access to a live trading room. What else do you get access to? Start here menu, all the classes we offer. But really, okay, now we're about portfolios. We're about the Ultima Theo Theta portfolio. Okay, we're about the Ultima Theo Theta small portfolio. If you look at this, apparently I logged myself out. So if you take a quick glance with me, and again, I'm going to log out and then log back in. All right, here we go. Take a quick glance over here with me. All right, so this is TheoTrade. So now you're in the members area. We're going to go to portfolios, and we're going to go to Theo Theta small. Okay, now the small portfolio lays out like every portfolio. Okay, it just lays out. This is the last thing I've actually done on here. You're like, oh, what was that? It's almost a week ago. It's okay. It's working. I put on a bunch of positions well before the Fed, get our risk on, let the Fed come out, market either explodes higher or barfs, put on a couple more positions. We've got a number, though, of open positions in here right now. We're good shape. We're really good shape in here. What's really cool, though, is you can even come in here and you can isolate by symbol. So that's the Theo small portfolio. In the Theo small portfolio, you can see I'm using micros. This is designed for, about a $5,000 account. But if you have a $15,000 account or $20,000 account, instead of doing 1, you do 3 or you do 4, depending upon your comfort level. Okay. And again, if you have a $5,000 account, all right, fantastic. Just follow exactly what I'm doing. If you have a $15,000 account, you do 3 times as much. Okay. It's that easy. It's that straightforward. Now, if that's not the portfolio, if you're ready for what I call big boy portfolio, I urge everybody. I really do urge everybody, follow the small portfolio. There's no difference between the big portfolio and the small portfolio, other than the big portfolio is bigger. Okay. And the big portfolio, it's big boy. Like, this is where I'm like, I'm selling strangles in here in the ES, and it's a bigger portfolio. Now this one, I actually do suggest you have a $50,000 account, because I'm going to fire at you a little bit. There's no harm in following the small portfolio for the first 90 days to get some comfortability. Okay. You want to feel warm and fuzzy with everything that you're allocating. That's important to me. All right. Warm and fuzzy is important. And that's something you should know. And again, these results that I'm showing you here, okay, for 2022, that is based on the big boy portfolio. That's the bigger of the portfolio. Theo Theta small is very, very similar results. Very similar results in here. Okay. This is not a membership. You just pay for the year. That's it. After the year is up, We don't renew, we don't auto do anything. You have to tell us if you want to do it again. Number 3, we actually do a weekly video so you can see all the moves that I make. So the weekly video is 12 minutes long. Number 4, we give you access to mobile. You get push notifications. Number 5, add your cell phone number when enrolling. Add your cell phone number when enrolling, you're going to receive the alerts. And that's important. So, this is, people are like, I don't want to put my real number in there, but you should, because it kind of, but by the way, if you screwed something up, we'll fix you. Okay. Believe me, we have an entire crew on the back end that does nothing but like fix this stuff, because I can't tell you how many times we've had that, like you put the wrong number in and so forth. Who are we texting? We have no idea, but it's exciting. That's actually why we text you and you have to type yes back to confirm that you got the right number in there. Number 6, you can email us anytime, receive a response within 24 hours. One thing I implore you to understand, we're here, okay, to answer trade related questions. There's a lot of, education firms that won't answer trade related questions. Yeah, it's overstepping my bounds. Everybody here at TheoTrade, okay, almost everybody here, there's 2 individuals here that were not licensed. They come from like hedge fund backgrounds, but not licensed. But almost all of our crew here worked inside of the brokerage world. We usually come from Thinkorswim or TD Ameritrade, but myself, I've had like almost every, brokerage license imaginable. We know how to answer your questions. By the way, if you're curious what brokerage license, I had a Series 3, which is futures. I had a Series 4, which is a principal options. I had a Series 7, which is just a registered rep. I had a Series 24, which is a principal broker dealer. I had 768 people under my Series 24. Then I had a Series 66, which is a 63 and a 65 combined. You want fries with that? We managed about $400 million for the first few years that I was at Thinkorswim. That was actually my first position at Thinkorswim, was actually managing a registered investment advisory firm. So a little background on that one. Anyway, we'll answer your trade related questions. You can come right at us. You don't have to say my dog, sister's brother's animal, had this trade on. Just say like, hey, I have this trade on, and get to us before you have problems, right? Number 7, variations of the trades that we do can be done in an IRA account as little as $2,000. Number 8 is critically important. We can help you get approved for options at several major brokers. Inevitably, some people say, I am at, Fidelity. Fidelity really doesn't let you do much in terms of trading. They just don't. Okay. And I will, and I say this with a heavy heart, I will say you should probably move brokerage firms. Okay. We here at TheoTrade have relationships with a bunch of brokerage firms. We're not, not just Charles Schwab or not just Tastyworks. We work with E-Trade. We work with Tradier. Unequivocally though, for this style of trade, a lot of it, Tastyworks is phenomenal for selling premium because they let you do anything, okay, with a very negligible amount of capital inside of your account. And at Tasty, they don't have different levels of clearance. So we'll actually walk you through that and give you links. There are 20 riskless spots available. Get results, take some action, enroll for TheoTrade now. There's no risk for the first 90 days. By the way, a few names have popped up on here. Those of that are enrolled. Douglas F. from Utah. By the way, I'm just confirming who's enrolled. There are 20 riskless spots on there. So Douglas F. from Utah, Anthony M. from London, Ken B. from Ohio, Myron S. from Florida, Karen R. from Colorado, Bruce D. from New York, David H. from New York. So just a handful of names. It takes me about 7, maybe 10 minutes before I can actually see your name populate in the system over here. Okay. I'm going to answer a couple of more specific questions as you guys are actually enrolling over here, because I do appreciate this. Oh, Stephen P. from Florida. I'm seeing a couple more names. I like this. Somebody popped in and said, please compare the pros and cons of Tastyworks versus TD's platforms. Okay. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to give you the whole lowdown. Okay. Look, Thinkorswim. Okay. Thinkorswim, the original iteration of Thinkorswim came out in 2001. I was there. I was working on it at the time it came out. Like my, claim to fame is, I did a lot of the analytics work. So I do a lot of analytical work, and let's say the analytics work, things like probability calculations and so forth, all this garbage in here. I worked on extensively, but it feels almost like a different lifetime. Listen, I'm 46 years old right now. I was working on this thing when I was in my early 20s. Okay. The code and so forth just hasn't been updated all that much. My bigger concern is this. Thinkorswim is now owned, okay, by Charles Schwab. And this year, they're taking the Thinkorswim platform and they're plugging it in to the back end of Schwab. There's not a good track record for Schwab in what they call clearing conversion. It's not a good track record. I would be very concerned at this point, and unequivocally, I would make the decision to have capital at Tastyworks. Again, I say this is kind of a heavy heart. Been trading on Thinkorswim since 2001. Okay, you can now see the number of positions that I've actually picked up on here. There's 3 different accounts. I now have more accounts. Okay, and as of like last week, I have more capital now here at Tastyworks, and I'll continue to put more into Tastyworks. Tastyworks is from the founders of Thinkorswim. It's the original guys that built Thinkorswim and now built Tastyworks. Why? Okay, well, they got, eventually bought out and got bored and went for it again. Okay, it's no different. I just went a different direction. I decided, got bought out, took a 5-year deal, like left, spent a couple of months at home, went totally nuts. We opened up TheoTrade. That was 2015 where I was going nuts. By 2016, I'm right back into it. And here we are in 2023. Okay. And yeah, I feel pretty strongly like this is the place you'll probably want to go in order to sell some premium. So I hope that helps. It's not so much about comparing the two. It's what's going to be the stability of the platform. And the answer is it's going to be Tastyworks. All right. So somebody said, is the problem with naked calls and puts, okay, or only naked calls? So there is actually no problem with either side of the naked calls or naked puts. One of the things that a lot of people are not aware, selling naked calls in an IRA used to be a big no-no. It's not anymore. They changed the rules. And what's really interesting is they changed the rules when COVID was going on. Nobody even picked up on it. Tastyworks picked up on it, and Tastyworks said, oh, we're going to run with this. You can sell naked calls, and they don't tie up a lot of margin. They don't tie up a huge amount of margin. It's pretty phenomenal. So it's there's really no difference on that one. Okay. Like somebody said, Tastyworks builds the analyze tab like Thinkorswim. It's coming. Believe me. So it's coming. And again, I'm not going to sit here. By the way, I make. I'll tell you the full thing right now. We help open accounts for Tastyworks, and we help open accounts for Thinkorswim. So for the most part, I don't have skin in the game either way. Okay, but I will tell you that the analytical side of Tastyworks is not as good as Thinkorswim yet. It can't be. Like, how long it took to build that analyze tab? Okay, years. Got years of my life. I'm in my 40s, a lot of gray hair, but I don't attribute that to Thinkorswim. I attribute that to the 3 children inside the house. I had no gray hair. Children were born. I have gray hair. By the way, can you use Tastyworks outside of North America? Yes. So Tastyworks was recently acquired by a company called IG, which is of course in London, part of the Commonwealth. You're going to see Tastyworks is going to explode. Tastyworks is going to be the worldwide platform. That's the whole design. Tastyworks is actually building a currency conversion platform on the back end of this, so that you'll be able to trade in like euros, you'll be able to trade in like all kinds of different currencies. It's going to be cool. It's really cool. It's actually taking a tremendous amount of their work. Okay. All right. With that, so I'm getting a couple more of the questions coming in here. All right. Well, a lot of Thinkorswim kind of questions. That's okay. I mean, I know the platform really well. So, here, somebody said on the 50,000 allocation, regular margin or IRA? All right. You want my real feelings? My real feelings are on the 50,000 allocation. That's really for a regular margin account. In an IRA, you should probably have more than that. You should probably have closer to 70 grand for me to be comfortable in the IRA with you in the portfolio. The margin in the IRA, they hold twice as much margin in the IRA as they do a regular marginable account. Okay, so I actually appreciate that question, but that's the truth. I want to make sure that you're comfortable with that. So if you had, for instance, like $30,000 in an IRA, follow the small portfolio. Follow the smaller portfolio. You'll be better off for it. Okay. We already got that one. I think we're pretty good here. I think we actually got most of the questions. Again, I want to make sure that everybody sees that that final address up there. It is, okay, it's theotrade.com/UA. You simply click add to cart. I'll pop this up there as well. Make sure I got all the questions answered. The way I'm looking at some of the messages over there. Oh, the auto expected move indicator. Okay, it's right down here on the bottom of this page. Okay, it's right there on the bottom of this page. So go to theotrade.com/UA. By the way, this theotrade.com/UA, after you have enrolled, you get access to all the indicators too. So TheoTrade is all encompassing. We're not just about alerts. We have full chat room. There's over 200 classes you're going to have access to, all the coaching sessions. We broadcast for 6.5 hours a day as well. So this is a new direction we're actually taking here. People clearly need and want trade alerts, especially in the midst of such heavy volatility, that we want to cut the learning curve. We want to get the trading alerts out to you as fast as possible. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. Again, go to theotrade.com/UA and enroll now. It's a 90-day money back guarantee. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful afternoon. Bye-bye.